AskReddit by Rock4Light. What's a harsh reality that everybody needs to hear? Children's first bullies are often their parents. Edit. Thank you for the award. Edit 2. Thank you for the awards. Deleted. Not every mother is a mom. Not every father is a dad. It won't just happen. I spent a lot of my early 20s being sad and defeatist, feeling sorry for myself. I always coped with this by telling myself that I'd make something of myself eventually, and meet a woman eventually, and be happy eventually. The truth is, eventually doesn't come if you don't make it come. Improvement has to be proactive. You can end up 40 years old, living with your parents, playing video games all day, and with no motivation. Nothing will prevent that from happening other than you. Thanks. I've stagnated and needed to hear this. Whatever you say can and will be used against you. Deleted. Physical appearance matters. Almost everyone is shallow, and if you are ugly, people might treat you as inferior and you will have disadvantages in almost every aspects of life. That is pretty privilege or halo effect. Look that up. As an ugly person I confirm. Or fat. I've lost 70 pounds and I get treated differently. Some people will hurt you, and they won't care how you feel about it. Deleted. You gotta walk your dogs. I heard someone put it this way which really hit home. To you it may feel like a chore, but to your dog it's probably their favorite part of the day. Failure is part of life. It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. Jean-Luc Picard. Just because you go out of your way for people, it doesn't mean they will do the same for you. Edit. I didn't expect this comment to get so many upvotes and replies as it has. Thank you for the awards too. For those calling me out saying I shouldn't expect anything back or I'm selfish that I don't go out of my way to help others without expecting anything in return, that's not what my comment said. All I'm saying is, be careful who you drop everything for. Most of us learn that the hard way. Life is not automatically easier just because you're a good person. Expecting life to treat you well because you are good is like expecting the bull not to charge at you because you are vegetarian. You can love someone with all of your heart and not be loved back in the same way. I wasted a lot of time in my life either being too stupid to learn this or at the very least too stubborn to admit it to myself. Bad things can happen to good people. Good things can happen to bad people. It's unfair. It's life. You can do everything perfectly correct and still fail. Not everyone likes you. Some people won't like you for very arbitrary reasons, or for no reason at all. It takes way too much of your energy trying to make people like you. Use that energy on yourself and your loved ones. It's a life lesson I learned much later than I could have. It's a Star Trek reference, but it's a very realistic one. It is possible to make no mistake, and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. Sometimes you need to accept you did everything within your power right and it still went bad. And remember that this isn't something to beat yourself up over. These things happen. Edit. Holy hell, did blow up. I'm glad to see so many. I needed to hear this comments. I know I needed to hear this the first time I saw this scene. I also like the reverse of that. It is possible to royally fuck things up and still win. Celebrities and influencers need us more than we need them. Hegel's master-slave dialectic revised for the 21st century and perfectly summarized in one sentence. I love it. You don't realize the good best times as they are happening. I have absolutely known when I was living in the good times, and it broke my heart. I wanted to stop time, and live there forever, and I couldn't. I tried to just be grateful. Your first relationship most likely won't be your last. When I hear young girls say their first boyfriend is the love of their life, I just smile. That was me. Madly in love at 15 and thought we'd be together forever. It makes me laugh. Thankful my first relationship was loving and respectful enough to make me hopeful for the next. You can become disabled unexpectedly at any point in your life. Make sure you're taking advantage of the abilities you have while you have them. This is scary. Nobody is coming to save you. You have to do it yourself. Be the person you needed while you were growing up. Just because someone is your family doesn't mean they have your best interests at heart. Corollary: not all parents love their children. Depression, an illness, a bad upbringing, and many more. These are not excuses to treat people badly. If someone is nice to you, then these are not excuses to treat them like shit. And if you do, they are not required to forgive you. No one is required to give you a second chance. Your mental health is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. This one is both harsh and comforting. People don't think about you as much as you think they do. That means that your feelings might be ignored or not considered. People will forget things about you and might not remember things you've done together that were very memorable for you. That can be hard to realize. On the other hand, they probably don't remember that embarrassing thing you did in high school, or they don't care about it. They notice patterns of behaviors, more than occasional bad days that you have. So those times you feel bad about being off with someone, they probably don't think about them, unless they become frequent. Personally, I find that comforting. Yeah, I needed to read this. I thought I'd be happy when I graduated college, or when I got my first apartment, or when I bought my first home. Don't expect happiness to be at the finish line. Happiness comes from yourself, in the now. Enjoy the process. So what do I do if I'm not happy in the process and, according to this, I have nothing to look forward to? Nobody cares. So just go for it. Everyone's busy with themselves to pay too much attention to what you are doing. Facts. A teacher in high school taught me at the end of the day, nobody cares about you. Nobody is going to bed at night thinking of your problems. And it always stuck with me. The probability of you making it as a professional gamer, streamer, YouTuber isn't worth quitting your job. You have a higher chance of getting hit by a car or winning $1 million lottery. Not saying give up, but be realistic. Keep a job that'll pay the bills while you try. Don't quit your day job until your internet career is already paying your bills. In addition to the odds being stacked against you, you don't even know if you can keep up content production without dipping your toes in a way that keeps your real job. Your trauma is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Also, that shared trauma is not a good foundation for a relationship. Danny, if you're spending 30 minutes every day in the shitty after lunch and still saying you shouldn't have had Taco Bell for lunch, maybe it's time to see a doctor, or stop going there for lunch. Not everything is a lesson, Ryan. Sometimes you just fail. Life is not fair. Expecting it to be will always disappoint you. People will get special treatment for all kinds of things. It will never change. When you buy a pet, know that you are in all likelihood going to outlive them. You need to mentally prepare yourself for that inevitable day. Unless you get a parrot, then figure out who's going to take it.